nobody gave them any chance and nobody gave them any value. And I guarantee if you look and turn around in your own school or your own, place of business, you have some too. And so that's what we're going to do. We're really going to challenge people to, my wife tells them to color outside the lines just a little bit. And it's a non-comfort zone for people, but that's what we try to get them comfortable with that decision.
Is that easier said than done?
Well, she just yells at him.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, these guys are, as I say, they're on the front lines. I mean, they're out there fighting every day. They have these kids probably us attention more than parents do, and we want them to realize that look to the kid that isn't the good kid. Good kids, straight A students, they're going to be good kids and straight A students no matter what situation you put them in. Michael Orr ended up being a straight A student, but all he needed was someone to realize the value that he had. So I think what we would like teachers and educators to do is to realize that they need to be the ones to look around and really make the difference. They need to figure out, why is this kid shying away? Why is this kid bullying other kids? Why is this kid doing things that he shouldn't be doing? A lot of times it's because he wants attention, or he wants someone to say, hey, look at me, I can make a difference. So when we go into Boys and Girls Clubs and Big Sister, Little Sister programs, or organizations that work with kids and with teachers, we say, you know what we do? We like to reward the F student that pulls his grades up to a low C, because that kid is making an effort, and that's what we like to see. Good for the ones making straight A's. They get plenty of attention and plenty of awards down the road every single day. But there are those kids that are not making it, or that are barely making it. And when you give them a little push and an opportunity, all of a sudden they shine, and they're making C's, and that's good for them. And they need to be, pulled up by the bootstraps and say, hey, you did a great job. You're doing a good thing. That's what we want these guys to do, is to realize that there's kids that they go, don't waste time on them. They're not going to make it. That's what they said about Michael. And we wasted a little time, and guess what? He made it, and he made it big. And there are Michael Orrs in every crack and cranny and crevice in this world.
Leanne, what do you think about the way you were portrayed in the movie?
Oh, she did. Everyone that was participating in the movie did a great job. They hung around. They shadowed us. They did an exceptional job. So we were, for Hollywood not to screw something up is nothing short of a miracle, and they really nailed this. And I think it shows. They spent time on it. They put a little effort into it. The cast of characters all did the same. They took pride in the story and the message, and they still are. And I think that's why the movie is still popular, if not more popular today.
It's crazy. You can't turn the TV on. And that's good, because it's a good message. It seems to be an easy process where people aren't threatened by it, but they still accept it. But anytime you get a chance to look like Tim McGraw for about 4 months, it's not all bad.
If the movie is a true reflection of what happened, why do you think more people don't do this? I think there's an element of fear of people not wanting to get involved and not knowing what they're going to be faced with.
Well, we drove through a tunnel yesterday to get to Windsor, and that's a big risk. People take it every day. They don't think about it. They don't get out and check the walls and check the tires and check the electrical. So we take risks every day. And what we tell people is that this is just another risk. It's just like driving over a bridge. It's just like, something else you do. And there is a saying, without risk, there's no reward. Well, we like to think that also. Now, what we tell people is you better watch out, because you're going to get so much more out of it that you're going to want to do it again, and then you're going to want to be like us and tell everyone about it. And so if you're not interested in being happier than you were yesterday, then don't do anything. And what we tell people is just a little bit out of your comfort zone, and we think that's a good thing.
And I hate to say it, but I put a lot of blame on you guys. The
That's
news
your fault.
tends
That's
to do
your habit.
nothing but portray the bad, the bad, the
All
bad.
right.
And we do this several times a week, and there are great people around this world doing wonderful things and making a difference. We don't talk about that. All we talk about is the crap that's going on, who did this bad thing, who did that, and people go, oh my gosh, I've got to lock my door and stay in my house and not get out. And you know what? But they're isolated incidents. There are great people, great cities, great moments, and they're happening every single day, and we're missing them. And if people would see that 24/7, they'd open their windows and throw up the sash and go, man, let's get out and see what we can do today. Let's figure out we can make a difference. I mean, I turned around the night before last in a parking lot last night? I can't remember. Night
No, last 2
10:30,
nights
we're
ago.
going home in Memphis, which is as bad as, we're ranked up there in the top 5 bad of everything. Fattest, biggest, killingest, whatever. We're in those statistics and there was a family, a mother with 4 small kids. And I thought, what's the deal? And Sean and SJ were following me, and we flipped the car around, and she had to go way downtown, couldn't get a bus. And I did put SJ in the car with me just because I thought, he could entertain. There were 4 small kids. And I said, don't care if you sing camp songs, you're going to entertain these. And she needed a ride home. And I just thought, how many people passed by and all this lady needed was a ride? She cried the entire way. She thanked us profusely. We gave her a ride. She wasn't going to kill me. She didn't have a gun in her bag. Bruce Willis wanted to hop out of the trunk and have to save me. I mean, it's just, we just have these grandiose ideas of how things are going to happen that it stops us from doing something we should be doing.
So don't you think the movie was inaccurate now?
One more quick one, folks.
Were you
Giving back
always-
is an important part of your life. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, it's an easy part of our lives, and we wrote a book about it. And the subtitle was "The Power of Cheerful Giving," and we think there's a lot of power in that. And what we tell people is, if you don't do it with a cheerful heart, don't do it, because it's not going to lead to anything. So when it does make you feel good, you tend to do it often. So we think that starts with the power of giving.
Were you always this passionate before Michael Orr came into your life?
She was always this mean. If that's really.
That's not what I asked.
Oh, you said passionate. Yeah, she's
Yes.
always been passionate.
Sean,
That's a nice word, actually. I'm going to use that one.
There you go.
It is. I mean, I think through his athletics, Sean was raised in New Orleans. We were raised by parents. Sean's dad was a school teacher and a coach. Mine was a police officer. We were raised by parents that were givers, that believed in making a difference. And I think that is just something that since the day we met that we've both been very passionate about. And I think that's a big credit to our parents.
Right, no doubt.
Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thanks, folks.
Thank you so much. Sandra